My name is Devon House, and I was placed for the last 20 months at the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. I'm originally from Worcester, Ohio, and I currently reside in Northside. I'd like to thank you all for your willingness and excitement in sharing with me in my fourth presentation of learning, my fourth and last presentation of learning. Over the last 20 months, Public Allies has afforded me the space and experiences to develop my own sense of or definition of what it means to be both collaborative and authentic. My first term of service in 2011 and 2012 opened my eyes and my heart to the complexities and inequities that exist in this world. I didn't hesitate during my first year to challenge myself to be more conscious of how I treated and regarded others at my partner organization and the community in which I lived. I soon became unabashed to engage people when necessary through dialogue and sometimes arguments. I was permitted in my first year the space to foster new relationships. I was encouraged to be me. I was affirmed in my strengths, and I felt good too when I affirmed the strengths in others. Months after graduating in 2012, I quickly learned the ropes of my new position as a client advocate at St. Vincent de Paul. My summer of transition, so I ended Public Allies and I still work there, and that summer was spent acclimating to record high temperatures. It was really hot last summer, it was crap. Completing some preliminary planning for our fan and air conditioner distribution, and streamlining a process as well that allows St. Vincent de Paul to distribute the most bus tickets, transportation assistance in the whole city. We buy the most, get them out in like 2 days. Nonetheless, I got used to a stream of constant requests for my help via voicemail. So I had to really get acclimated to those aspects of my job because I never had anything, such a responsibility. Becoming a client advocate was a true test of my abilities as a leader in my capacity to collaborate with others. St. Vincent de Paul's strong mission to meet people where they are guided me as I defined leadership for myself. I was tasked with objectives that involved preventing homelessness and empowering people through financial emergencies, and it felt necessary over the last 10 months to commit myself to ensuring that the work I did resulted in the best possible outcomes. During Public Allies training, we spent a great deal of time investigating our strengths, and with the activity Strengths Quest, I realized my abilities as an activator, or someone who's likely to put words into actions. Those working around me saw my willingness to provide my best work, and I was often involved in projects such as rewriting and revamping our bus ticket policy for the purpose of easier interpretation by our volunteers. And ultimately, that contribution at work was put into the manual as official policy. We also utilized federal funding at my partner organization, if anybody knows about the Emergency Food Shelter Program. It was used primarily in the prevention of homelessness. And upon distributing these funds, my social services staff came together to decide two main things. How are we going to choose people to help? Because we only had so much money and so many people to work. How are we going to do this in a balanced and comprehensive way? And the second thing was, how are we going to complete this paperwork on behalf of the client without any errors? So I gathered through these actions of working with transportation assistance, working in homelessness prevention, I gathered through these actions and the various opportunities I collaborated with my coworkers, the importance of promoting uniform and fair systems. Though perfect fairness is unattainable in my mind, I have learned that attempts, nonetheless, can most successfully be made through collaboration between all stakeholders. I played a role in all of this by offering my help with organizing our workspace in a way that provides easy access to necessary files and forms. While interviewing the visitors of our agency, I also learned patience and self-care from the example of my supervisor and other coworkers like here. Especially when I was faced with challenges that frustrated me, because I get frustrated real easily. But I learned in this workspace how to deal with that because everybody was kind of sharing things, we were collaborating in that way. My ability to collaborate and share in an experience with others motivated me to show up daily, still willing to do my best. The people I work with often lean on each other for support for all kinds of issues. In addition, I work closely with the former LA at St. Vincent de Paul to compose and present a tenant landlord rights and responsibility seminar. We hope to take an asset-based community approach, something I learned specifically from Public Allies, to ensure that a program like this was both warranted and of quality. During the completion of this objective, I learned accountability for the objectives set before me. We could have taken any route in completing this project. We could have even claimed that our plates were too full at the time. It was presented to me like, you have a lot to do, but are you going to be able to finish this by May 25th? But we used our judgment and our network of people with the knowledge to help us and successfully build capacity for our organization. And I'm proud to leave a document, a physical document behind because it was truly inspired by asset-based community development. And I got the opportunity to experience firsthand what it feels like to be inspired by the community around me and create such a valued program. My second year experience was also integral through my tasks of being a fellow. With equally challenging work, our goal as a team was to collaborate with Von Seal Brown and Elements Art Center to create a spoken word showcase for high school students. I didn't realize before how important my role as a facilitator can be, engaging the group through community building, identifying people's strengths in my team, and subsequently asking the tough questions that stimulate not only the completion of project outputs, which is very important, but a positive, productive work environment. I don't think perfect harmony could have been achieved in this case either, in the same way that I was, trying to achieve fairness at work. But through our activity, the 5 dysfunctions of the team, I realized at mid-year that a pursuit of harmony is in vain without the presence of trust. So even though we couldn't attain perfect harmony, we still have to work towards it. Not only was this important inside the group, but with project partners as well. 20 months have ensured a smooth transition to my future full-time work at UC because I developed more than a sense of how I am as a worker. Now I feel more confident in my abilities to lead people through finding common ground, building trust, and regarding others with the utmost respect. As a transplant of this city, or to this city, I fell in love with its people and the feeling of community I get in the neighborhoods I work and live in. Prior to Public Allies, I was sure in my assertion that leadership was the direct result of how much work I complete. Moving forward, I now know that for something to truly be of value, it needs to involve the dedication of all stakeholders, both at work and in TSP. So thank you very much for your time.